Hi YouTube, welcome back to our channel. So today we are going to be doing a challenge. We've not actually done like a challenge like this in a while. I think we've only done one or two on our channel. But today's challenge is we are both going to be set a budget of £500 each. And we are going to plan a weekend trip, a 2-night trip.
Yeah.
2-night weekend trip within that budget. And so we're going to come up and kind of show you guys how we go about planning our trips and how we make them affordable and stick to a budget. And you guys are going to get to vote which trip you think is better, and maybe we'll even go on that trip. Okay, so we have set it at £500 because that is kind of where we try and stick to when we do a couple-day trip.
It's like £250 each.
£250 each. That's including like a budget for food every day. So we've got to work that into our plan. And I also think we should set a rule that you've got to fly out of Gatwick. Or if you fly out of any other airport, you've got to factor in parking costs.
Okay.
Don't worry about petrol. We've got to factor in parking. So if you want to go to Stansted, which for us is a little further away, Gatwick is our closest airport, you'd have to park somewhere.
Yeah, Gatwick, you could get the train.
You could get the train. But if you're getting the train, you've also got to factor that into the price. Because these are the little things that add up.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Let's get into it. Do you want to go first or shall I go first?
You go first.
I'll go first. Another rule that we're introducing is it has to be before the new year. So we're currently at the end of October. That gives you kind of like 2 months. And it can be any date within those 2 months, but it has to be a weekend and 2 nights.
Can we fly out Friday night?
You can fly out, you can stay in the place for 2 nights. It has to be 2 nights in the place. So whatever else you like.
Okay, cool.
Let's do it. Okay, so let's start. This is the spreadsheet that we're going to be using. It is what I have created on my own, so it's not like a bulk spreadsheet or anything. It is what we typically use to try and see about our flights and whether or not we can afford them and all that. Anyway, so this is what I'm going to fill out to make sure that I'm on budget. I'm going to start with finding a destination, and to do that, I'm going to go on Google Flights and see what I can find. Okay, so I know I want to go from London, preferably, like I said before, I'd like to go from London Gatwick. I'm going to put in for anywhere. Oh, and it's difficult because when you choose anywhere, you can't really choose the dates, but let's just go with a random date. I'm going to go with that. Milan. Why are flights to Milan like literally always the cheapest? Zurich isn't bad. Could do Zurich. No, you take the later flight. Sorry. Let's do that. And then it's that much each way. And then we're just going to take that and go times 2. Okay. I'm awful with numbers, so don't judge me. I think it was 69. Was it? No. Okay, so that's how much it would be total for flights. Obviously, it's not budgeted, it would be actual. So no matter what, that is our flight prices, which I'm gonna go and put in at the end. So that's how much we've spent so far. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not adding seats. I mean, realistically, would I add seats? Probably. I wouldn't add a bag though. So let's just see how much it is to add a seat, because I feel like that, oh, okay, no. Okay, let's not add a seat. Let's just say we're not gonna add a seat because I don't want to go through that stage. But that's our flights, right? So we are going to do Zurich. Oh, that's exciting. I feel like I might be shooting myself in the foot here though, because I know how expensive Switzerland can be. And we went to Geneva. I also need to look at the flights going. Oh my god, I can't remember the dates. Oh my gosh. Bear with. How do I even find that again? Oh no, okay. Okay, my bad. I figured it out. It's the 12th to the 14th of December to go. And then also, before we actually get into how much we can spend on a hotel, I think we should call off how much we're going to spend every day. So we try and go for like maybe like a £60 budget. I'm going to say that because I know how expensive Switzerland can be. So £60 a day. I'm gonna up it. I'm gonna up it to 80. Okay. That's how much we got to spend on a hotel. KT, let's see. See what we can get us. £480 for 2 nights? Switzerland might have been a bad choice. No, I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that, and I'm not here for that. Could we be changing my whole plan again? Let's see where else we can go. I might have been on the wrong vibe with going there. Let's go anywhere again. Oh, it's really difficult. Do you know what? I know where I want to do. Let's look at the prices of hotels first. Because I know flights are usually fairly cheap there. Like I said, I don't really want to do somewhere like Milan because I feel like it's just not this time of year vibe, even though it would be very cheap to go there. However, a place that could be a vibe is Paris. Let's do it for the same weekend and see what we get. This one looks nice. Okay, let's view the property. And then let's have a look at flights. Let's have a look at this weekend. 28th to the 30th. I like the look of this place. I think it looks really nice. It's got 3 stars. You know what? I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Okay. And then I feel like the money would go further in Paris. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you wouldn't have to spend, and that's like total for 2 people. So £203. Oh, I'm gonna be really sneaky. Okay. What if, hear me out. No, let's say that. Oh, I thought that was return. Ew. Never mind. Let's do a round trip again. And what if we flew out on the Saturday morning and flew back on the Monday? Because we said 2 nights. We didn't technically say you had to do Friday, Saturday. So we could do Saturday, Sunday and leave really early on the Saturday so that you get the whole day on Saturday, whole day of Sunday, and then you leave on Monday. And then it doesn't really matter what time you leave on Monday. You can just leave on the cheapest flight because you've had 2 whole days anyway. So it's actually £58. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. And then like, it's annoying because like I feel like I want to do an activity. Okay, so I would say like we're basically like on a good, because like for us we'd probably just have like a croissant and then a sandwich and then dinner. So that's, I would say it's pretty much on thingy. For 1 day? No, you don't need to spend, you're not going anywhere important enough to spend that. You're telling me they want to charge you €62 and they're on strike half the time too, so absolutely not. You don't need that. You can just pay for your train when you want to get on it. I'm not, yeah, that's your problem. The only problem is like you take the first train, you've like low-key missed your flight, so I'm gonna say someone can just drop you off at the airport. Just ask your mum. And I feel like Paris is one of those cities you don't necessarily need to do a lot of activities. Like you could go into the Louvre, you could go up the Eiffel Tower, but you can also go and just see those things for free, like from the outside. You don't necessarily have to go in. And I feel like that's the benefit of going to somewhere like Paris or London or that. Like you don't have to worry about that. I can't even remember which hotel we went for in the end. No, we're still sticking with our original this one. I reckon you just stay here instead. Doesn't look as nice, but do you know what? It actually looks quite nice. Yeah, you're staying here instead. This is what I'm going for, 160. And now you're under budget, and now you can like maybe go into the Louvre or something. Probably not. Oh, I haven't changed these, that's why. 160. Oh my gosh, we're under budget. So what should we do in Paris for less than £39? That's £30. Get your guide. This is low-key taking me so long and I'm low-key stressed about it. Like, I feel stressed out. I feel like I actually have to go on this holiday and it's stressing me out. The other thing I would say, like, if we had more money, is to go into Palais Garnier. I feel like it's one of the coolest ones you can go in. I did it. Okay. Now, let me run through your little holiday with you. I had the dates wrong for the hotel, but good news, it's cheaper. So, actually, we've got money back. Look at that, we are well under budget, guys. You can even treat yourself to a souvenir. Okay, we are done. This is how your trip to Paris is gonna go. So you wake up early on the Saturday, you get a flight, you get someone to drop you off at the airport because there were no trains running at that time, and I'm sure you've got someone in your life that can do that. You get to Gatwick, you get through, you fly to Paris, you jump on a train in Paris, you head to Paris du Nord, and you catch whatever you need to catch to get over to your hotel. You won't probably be able to check in yet, but anyway, you have your nice time in Paris. You get to do a boat cruise, you get to eat, you get to even buy yourself a souvenir because you've got a little extra cash. You are staying in this hotel, the Ibis Paris La Vita Cité du Science, in the Science District, I guess, I don't know. You even get a satellite TV and a telephone in your room. So, I mean, like, count yourself lucky. And it's only costing you £152. Like, that's a bargain. This is your train back, £16. And then this is the activity that you get to do. You get to do a boat cruise. Look how cool this looks. You get to do the little TikTok where it's like, we were in Paris. That one, you know, or like the Gossip Girl one. There are so many you get to see. And you can even, you know, there's so much. It's cool. It's great.
Right, so my go. Let's have a look at flights first. Google flights. And now let's go round trip for two. Common economy. Right, so a weekend before the end of December. So I'm gonna go November 1st because I think that's gonna be cheaper than December. And I'm gonna go Friday to Sunday 1st because I think that's gonna be the cheaper option. I'm coming back on a Monday, but I may be wrong. And I'm gonna go anywhere. And I'm just gonna explore everywhere first. I'm thinking Europe is gonna be the cheapest. But let's see. Been to Milan. It's alright, but I feel like you can go somewhere better for a similar price. Venice, that's a good option, but I don't know whether it's a good time to go to Venice in November. So, let's have a look. Okay, let's have a look at Venice. Didn't put Gatwick. Really want Gatwick. Let's try Saturday to Monday. I obviously don't know which week Holly's gone for, so she could have found a really good week that is cheap. So I'm gonna probably flick through some of the weeks just to double check. I mean, Barcelona. Really, I want the price, the flights to be. Let's have a look at this because I like the idea of Venice now. 8 o'clock on Saturday. That could be good. Come back Monday morning. Okay, let's have a look at that. Let's put that in first. So, with EasyJet, 179. Like, that's probably, like, you only need a backpack. That will be covered. I don't even need to check that. I know that. Yeah, I know that's going to be covered. Okay, so backpack will be covered. and we won't need a suitcase for the weekend, so I don't need to add that on. And it would be nice to sit next to each other, but we're going for cheap. So if you don't end up to sit next to each other, is it the end of the world? No. I'm just gonna have a look at how much it would be to sit next to each other. Right, how do you get sleep sections? £43 per person per flight. Okay, no, we're not sitting next to each other. That's fine. So 179, 178, 12. Okay, cool. Right, let's see if I can find a hotel. That's gonna be tricky. Okay, right, let's have a look. Hotels. Get the map up. Okay. Obviously, I haven't been to Venice before. I would love to go there. Me and Holly have talked about it before. Don't like them looking at that. I mean, yeah, quite nice. Oh, the bed. But let's have a look. Show map. I mean, that looks quite nice. £162, 2 nights. Not too bad. And then you're in Venice. I know you kind of want the like European, like Italian, obviously Italian, it's Venice. You want that kind of feel, but if you can get to Venice and stay in Venice for cheap, and know it's nice, and then just explore, that's as good, if anything, to me. So yeah, I don't know. The only thing is, I don't know how expensive it is to actually get into Venice. So I may have to change once I figure that out. Well, I'm going to figure that out in the next. But this place looks extremely nice. Let's just book. Well, we're not going to book it, but let's have a look at the cheapest. 2 single beds. Okay. Here we go. 162, same price. 162 for a king room. Cool. 160 between the two of us, so £80 each left. Let's have a look. See how much I have. This is when it's going to blow all my. Oh wow, that's really easy. Oh yeah, I didn't expect it to be that cheap. Obviously, you would like to go in a taxi, but we're going for 2 days. You're only going to have a rucksack, not a suitcase, so we can go in a bus. So, £36. I'm going to put it down as. Let's have a look. That's confusing. First. 4, 2 people. Confirm. This is when it's not going to be able to load it for this date, but let's have a look. Right, so let's get the time. So this one's £3 to £6, £11.55. We got in 11:05. That'll give you 50 minutes to get through, and it's the cheapest one. So let's go with that. So, if you just get the cheapest ticket, it was £3. I don't really want to do all this for £3. Okay, it's not £3, it's £20. So that's a joke. Right, that transfer thing was annoying me, so I found it. Took me like 5 minutes just to reset and find it. So we were flying out at 8, we get in at 11:05. So I found a bus that would take us from the airport into Pisa Roma, and then we would have to walk from Pisa Roma to the hotel. 20-minute walk. You've just got to Venice. Why not walk through? Like, looks like it is walkable. 1.4k, not that far. Pretty fun to walk. If not, it says it's a 3-minute car journey, and maybe taxis options, but we're trying to do it in the £500, so I'm going to walk. And then on the way back, I found the right one for 7:20 a.m. Again, you just leave the hotel, get back to that place, Pisa Roma, grab a bus back, and it gets us there for 7:40, and the flight back's at 10:30. So more than enough time to catch that flight home. Cool. So that, let's add that in. So that cost us $17.23 for one person. So also realised I haven't done the get into Gatwick. However, it was an early flight. You can get a train that early, I think. But for the premises of this video, I'm sure you can probably get a family member to take you. I'll have a look at the trains for the way back in a minute, just so I've done one journey on the way back. Let's do that now. Okay, that's one adult, and the cheapest ticket is this one, £8, so 2 tickets, 16 for the way back. Okay, let's go and find an activity. Done hotel, let's go and find an activity that we can do. I know one thing I want to do in Venice, so Venice, things to do. Right, obviously you want to do gondola down the thing, that's really cool. So let's have a look at how much that would be. Off camera quickly, because I started realising things weren't going to add up. So I'm back, and right, so let's skip over the gondola for a minute. Let's go for how much it was going to cost us to eat in Venice for 2 days. I've gone off $120. Is that dollars or euros? Euros. So 120 euros in pounds is about £104, so 50 quid each for 2 people. So £104 for 2 people, 50 quid each. Because you can pick up breakfast, you can have a nice bigger dinner and not have much for lunch. We've done this before in Stockholm. You just pick up like a pastry and a coffee in the morning, have some snacky sandwich in the lunchtime, have a bigger meal in the evening. So I've gone with £104, so I put that in the sheet, £52 each day for 2 people. I've also realised that let's find a cheaper, see if there's a cheaper hotel out there. I went on Airbnb and I found this place. It looks just as nice as Hampton. £140 for 2 nights for 2 people. So I put that in there, so I'm going to get rid of this one. So that's 140. Then we've still got the train back from Gatwick and the return. It was in the same area, so the bus to Venice, and then you still had to walk there. Same thing, and the flight obviously the same. Right, gondola is about £71. So if you add all that up, it comes to £543, nearly £544. So I'm 44 over with a gondola. So the challenge is 500. So you'd have to treat yourself to do the gondola, which I think is a nice thing to do. However, I'm trying to do the challenge, which is for £500. So we're going to have a look at which activity we may be able to do in Venice that we can afford. So if you take away There's £71. We have £27.42. So about £13 each. So let's have a look at what we can do. Gonna get rid of all these tabs now because I've shown you those. Let's go Google. Let's have a look and see what we can do for £13. Just so we have one activity at least when we get there to do. Right. Because you can see these iconic things, you can go to you would do the gondola over the forgot what it's called now, Bridge of Sighs. So you could, I think you can walk over the Bridge of Sighs. So you could do that instead of going on the gondola underneath, and you could go somewhere else. There's lots to do in Venice, and just being in Venice, walking around Venice would be lovely. So let's have a look at what else we can do. There's glass factory tour, could be cool. Glass factory experience, a tour and demonstration. Glass blowing show visit, glass factory, and see what this might be the same thing, and it's not. Check availability. 868. Above 8. It's a guided tour around glass demonstration of blowing vase and sculpturing a glass horse. That's pretty cool. So yeah, so that was how much? 868 for 2 tickets. So let's put that in. To summarise my trip to Venice, so the flights were £178.12. The accommodation, we found that cheaper at Airbnb, so that worked out at £140 for 2 nights. Food and drink, it's on the budget side, but you don't need to spend loads to have a good time on food. So that's £104 for 2 people for 2 days. By the time you got there, it was the afternoon of the first day, and then you had, so you probably would have needed lunch, dinner, and then breakfast, lunch, dinner on the Sunday, and then breakfast in the morning. So it was basically 2 days worth of food. So 100 and drink for £104 done. Activity, we found that glass blowing thing where they were going to show us how to do a glass horse, which sounded really cool. I would have loved to do the gondola, but you would have been like 1 ticket off. You would be able to get one person's ticket, but not the other person's ticket with the £500 budget. So that was $868 for that. It was pretty good price. And then transport to the airport, back from the airport, each side, so Gatwick side and Venice side, it's £50.46 in total. So I'd done it. I £481.26, so under budget by about £18, £19. So I probably would have just put that on food, because you can just have a nicer treat, or you can get ice cream. It's Italian gelato, sounds great right now. So yeah, you could have just add that back on there. That's where probably I would add it, or I would keep it the same. And if you wanted to treat yourself, then go for the gondola. But obviously that's the challenge is a challenge, so I couldn't do that. But if the budget was not 500 straight, then I would go for the gondola over the glass blowing thing and spend just a little bit more. But yeah.
Okay, so that's the end of the video. We picked our places. I chose Paris.
And I chose Venice.
Venice. You guys get to pick though which one you think is the best. I mean, I think Paris is timeless. Just gonna say it. But we've not been to Venice before. So comment below which one you think is the better trip, the better deal. And like and subscribe so we see you in the next video.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.